Good news! A huge win for gamers. Hogwarts Legacy continues to be absolutely untainted. They are saying no once again to the modern audiences and wokeness. They just literally told the 41ers to go somewhere else, preferably Canada. That's what we call expediting processes, by the way. In any case, this is massive because Hogwarts Legacy 2, which is confirmed in this case, this situation, and 100% coming soon, is not going to have any of the modern garbage because a company has finally decided it's time to make money. And in this case, I think they want to make all the money.
Over the past few days, we have seen meltdowns of epic proportions over Harry Potter and really J.K. Rowling's work still making money. Not only are actors and producers and directors coming out and trashing the show, saying they were offered positions on this project, but they refused to be a part of this TV series. But we got the official confirmation that Hogwarts Legacy 2 is in the works, and that means there are also people in the video game industry flipping out. I have a few different things to show.
This was kind of already confirmed previously. Obviously, a game that sells 20 million copies in a year, is gonna get a sequel.
But before I get into the topic, if you enjoy Hogwarts Legacy 2 finally releases, it is going to be chaos yet again. Because look at what happened with the first game. It had gotten so many sales so quickly. At this point in time, it sold over 40 million copies and made over $2 billion, which is insane. But it still got attacked by the access media. There were people who were claiming they were going to boycott this experience, and that epic.
I have to say, the Hogwarts Legacy boycott has been one of the funniest things that has happened. And a lot of people don't pay attention to it. And I don't know honestly why, but it is hilarious. Because do you know what's happened with the Hogwarts boycott? When you get into it, it's one of the funniest and stupidest and craziest things. First of all, the Vogue tried to boycott it, saying, no, this is anti blah blah blah, we're not gonna buy it. Needless to say, that impacted nothing. People laughed at them, and nothing worked. And by the way, they still ended up buying the game, some of them who actually do. So all of it was just, once again, virtue signaling. After that, the legacy media claimed that the boycott ruined the game, that the boycott actually damaged it. Completely ignoring at that point, we already knew that it's the best-selling game of the year. Or one of the 2 or 3 or whatever. It sold a lot, as we all know. The legacy media run with that. Then they changed their opinion. And the activists and legacy media started... This was the last one, and I think this is why people missed it. They started saying that it was actually us, the chuds, who wanted to boycott it. It was our boycott. Why? Don't know, but I mean, boys, turns out we somehow boycotted Hogwarts Legacy. Who knew? I mean, man, I must have been asleep or something. The story of these people spurging out over what has been happening with it has been absolutely delightful.
Failed, but it was also snubbed at all of the award shows. It didn't even get nominated at the Game
True.
Awards, which was insane, but that's because the jurors are the access media that had attacked it for years. And when Hogwarts Legacy 2 finally releases, it's going to be a very similar situation because obviously there are tens of millions of people who supported the first game, who loved the first game. It was probably their game of the year when it launched in 2023. And when the sequel finally comes out,
You know what's my hottest take currently about Hogwarts Legacy? That it's not going to sell less. It's not going to sell less. Because there is a legitimate, reasonable percent of people who were kind of disappointed that Hogwarts Legacy didn't have that much to do with Hogwarts. Obviously, there were classes and whatnot. But they kind of wanted a more Hogwarts experience, you know, being in the classes and blah, blah, blah. So those people were slightly disappointed, and you know what? It's actually fine. If you were disappointed because Hogwarts Legacy wasn't that much in Hogwarts, understandable. fair, actually, even. But I don't think this is gonna even hamper the sales of the next one. I think Hogwarts Legacy, no matter what happens, is gonna sell more. Because after all of the good PR Hogwarts Legacy 1 got, people are gonna be more excited about this. People definitely are gonna be more excited about this.
It's going to cause chaos again. We basically knew that this was the case, that it was in development. Back in 2024, they had talked about Hogwarts Legacy 2 and all of their plans. In 2025, they reaffirmed that they were going to be working on this. Now we just know that it has been officially confirmed yet again at a shareholders call, and we don't really have any information about this. But yeah, we've already heard that like their primary focus over at Warner Brothers Games is Lego, is Game of Thrones, and is Hogwarts Legacy slash the Wizarding World in general. So this was a
It's actually crazy that the situation there for gaming is that bad at this point. Because Lego games, Lego Batman was a success, but man, a lot of those Lego games fucking fail abysmally. Most Lego games don't even have a 5K peak player base on Steam. In fact, there are some that win massively through, but most of them don't. It's crazy that well, maybe after Lego Batman, this is now a priority. Who honestly knows?
no-brainer move. And like I had mentioned, all of these boycott attempts didn't work the first time. They're not going to work the second time. But we're seeing a very similar mindset when it comes to the upcoming HBO series. Now, I have a
You know why people are honestly upset? Well, I'm not. I'm sorry. I said people. You know why human adjacents are upset about the Harry Potter universe? Because Voon does a lot there. Okay.
lot of criticisms about this. I am not extremely excited for it based on some of the casting decisions, also some of the story elements that they are changing. The whole point of this was supposed to be, oh, we're going to have a bunch of seasons. It's going to be 8 hours plus every season. We can cover everything in the books and then some. Of course, there are politically
Yeah, and then we had God Hood Snape. Well, I mean, gun wizardry is a thing, I guess.
motivated decisions behind this, like Snape's casting, for example. And now, filmmakers who directed multiple episodes of shows like Black Mirror said that they declined the opportunity to join HBO's Harry Potter as directors to avoid funding transphobia. Here we have another director who said, absolutely effing not, but thank you for asking. I think that the trans community deserves safety and dignity and respect and total
Safety from themselves? What are we talking about here?
acceptance. And I have to say this every time I talk about J.K. Rowling. She is a feminist at her core, and all of
Oh.
her opinions are based on feminism and her background and history with feminism. So just because I agree with her on this one thing, which of course most human beings agree on, and that is men are men and women are women, I don't agree with many of her other opinions and many of the other decisions that she has made over the years, but I still think that the fact that there are people out there who want to ruin her career and bury her creation, these people are absolutely pathetic and they do deserve to be called out. I mean, even look at some of the
I mean, she's gonna overcome this, but I do find it funny, and I don't really have actually sympathy towards her, even though I would fucking would, boys. Okay, would in a heartbeat, would in less than a heartbeat. I mean, listen, quality is quality. Okay, it is what it is. A little bit of mold in the curtains. Not nah. Who cares? Honest. Listen, I find it ironic that all of this has happened, and her own people are obviously, as always, partaking in good old cannibalism. And this doesn't change her opinion on anything else, by the way. This doesn't open her eyes. This is just the biggest issue she sees, and she's fighting it, and it goes against her own people. And none of them find this ironic in the slightest, which means there's no saving these people.
people that worked with her on the Harry Potter movies, like Emma Watson said, "Oh, I would love to come back to the wizarding world if J.K. Rowling handed off her creation to another individual or
Yeah, of all the original cast, not a single one, except Malfoy, is supporting her, which is crazy.
the entity of Warner Brothers." That is absolutely disgusting. And you are really sitting here and saying that she doesn't deserve to be a part of her creation because you don't like her and you don't like her opinions. And this is something we have seen across all access media, from the Forbes and the comic book news and the Polygons and the Kotakus and even the gamers. It is
Oh no, Kotaku has an opinion. That's sad.
abhorrent that this is their take and that this is what they are calling for, is for her to give up her creation. I mean, a few months ago, there was a lot of talk about a Fortnite Harry Potter crossover, and that caused controversy, and it's just going to
The funny part is the kids playing Fortnite could not care less, okay? The modern kids are like 5 seconds away from making SS units at this point anyway.
be this cycle where something gets announced for the wizarding world, these people rage, they call for boycotts, they say that this is terrible, and then nobody boycotts because everybody loves the wizarding world. And what I think is so hilarious about this situation is that all of the video game journalists who attacked Hogwarts Legacy 1 are no longer pushing the same talking points or pushing the same narratives in their articles and in the discussion of Hogwarts Legacy 2, at least at this point in time. As we get closer to the release of this sequel, they may change their tune again. But IGN, for example, doesn't talk about J.K. Rowling at all, doesn't talk about the controversy at all. Here we have WCCF Tech not talking about J.K. Rowling or the controversy that they tried to create with Hogwarts Legacy. And here is also Screen Rant. And keep in mind that Screen Rant was one of the driving forces behind the boycott attempts. And there were tons of articles posted on Screen Rant about it, and yet they are silent.
Who cares about the opinion of these legacy news medias? They have lost everything. Reliability, touch with reality, you name it, they lost it. No one cares about their opinions except the people who are, well, insane, and so they're not really gonna change their opinions anytime soon in a lot of these cases, right? So it is what it is. Screen Rant hating on us. Wow, I'm hurt, guys. I'm hurt. And the only way to unhurt your boy is by liking the video right now. Takes less than a second and magically recuperates my hurtiness. That's a word, I guess.
Maybe they are embarrassed because their boycott attempts the first time around completely and epically failed, and they are a laughing stock. Maybe they are just so desperate right now to walk on the tightrope and not fall off, where they want to farm hate and hate clicks, but at the same time, they don't want to push away the few readers they have still. Maybe they're just trying to play a balancing
Pathetic.
act. Who knows? Either way, though, I am not going to forget, as somebody who talked about this game at length and talked about these meltdowns. And speaking of meltdowns, there are quite a few people who are freaking out over the confirmation of Hogwarts Legacy
Lamau.
2. Most of these people have flags in their bio and pronouns in their bio. They're saying the 2 signifies how you'll be twice as pathetic if you buy this game. But your argument is always that it's just
Reminder that Hassan got intimidated by his audience to not play the game even though he wanted to. That is so good.
a video game, and you shouldn't be so triggered over its existence. Right, guys? I mean, other than J.K. Rowling being a massive bigoted piece of shit, Hogwarts Legacy was just a mid game, and it's fine if you
Damn.
don't think that it's the best game in existence.
I mean, it's not the best game in existence, but Professor Garlic is. There's a difference.
I don't think it's the best game in existence, but it was still a really fun, high quality game. And these people are just coping and seething over the level of success that it's found. Most nauseating game in history, too. Why are you people still creating demand for that hot dog water ladies products? Poop and fart noise.
The reality is, probably most of these people actually bought it. At the end of the day, the reality 100% is that these people probably bought it. Again, virtue signaling stands for nothing. It's just fake. It's just made so a bunch of people can try to feel good about their pathetic life choices, and that's pretty much it. Simple, really. And there we go. Also, is the camera good? I feel it bugs out and spazzes out a little bit too much. Whatever. In any case, that was a very dark 10 out of 10. Have a nice day. Bye.